Know about plants. Learning objectives. The root, the shoot, the stem, the leaf, the flower, pollination, fruits and seeds. You will see different kind of plants around you. You will notice that some plants are small, some are big, some are found in water and others are on land. In this chapter we will study about the different parts of a plant. But before going further, we will discuss the classification of plants on the basis of their size and shape. Plants can be classified into 3 groups: herbs, shrubs and trees. Herbs are very small and soft plants. Their height is maximum 4 feet about. Methi, spinach, coriander, wheat, paddy, mint etc. are some examples of herbs. Herb plants. Methi, fenugreek, spinach, coriander, wheat. Shrubs are medium-sized plants which have a hard and woody stem. The shrubs are taller than herbs but smaller than trees. Shrubs tend to branch near ground level and have many branches. Rose, jasmine, lemon, henna, bougainvillea etc. are examples of shrubs. Shrub plants. Rose, bougainvillea, henna. Trees are woody, hard and long plants. They are the tallest among all plants. They have a main stem called trunk which bears branches and leaves on it. The lifespan of trees is very long. Mango, pines, neem, banyan, teak, coconut, peepal etc. are examples of trees. Trees. Mango, neem, peepal, banyan. You will also notice that some plants like pea which cannot bear to stand up straight, spread on the ground. These plants are called climbers and creepers. They cannot climb up without support. These plants are different from the herbs, shrubs and trees. Pea, pumpkin, money plant etc. are examples of creepers or climbers. Pumpkin. Money plant. Parts of a plant. A plant is made up of certain parts. Normally, a plant has 2 distinct parts or systems. 1. The underground part of a plant is called root system. 2. The green above the ground is called its shoot system. This system consists of stem and branches, leaves, flowers, fruit, seeds. Parts of a plant. Flower, fruit, branch, leaf, stem, ground level, roots, soil. 1. The root. The root system is the part of the plant which usually grows below the ground. It consists of a main root and a number of branching roots. Pull a bunch of grass and look at the root system. They have several fiber-like roots that spread out in the soil. Such a root is called a fibrous root. Maize, wheat and barley are examples of fibrous roots. All plants do not have such fiber-like roots. Plants of pea, marigold, carrot, turnip and tulsi have a main root, called taproot. It grows vertically down into the soil and gives out branches. Thus, there are 2 types of root: the taproot system and the fibrous root system. Taproot. Fibrous root. Activity 7.2. Sow a few seeds of maize, pea, grass and mustard in a pot well supplied with soil, water and fertilizers. Observe after a few days. You will see that seeds have germinated. Pluck the seedlings from the pot. Observe carefully the type of root system of each of the seedling. Functions of the root. Roots fix the plant firmly in the soil. Roots prevent the soil from being blown off by winds or washed away by water. Roots absorb minerals, salts and water from the soil and help the plants to grow. Roots help in conservation of soil. In some plants, roots are modified to perform additional functions of storage and respiration. Modifications of root for storage. Some plants, like carrot or potato, have their roots modified for the storage of food. Their roots are swollen and fleshy, which we eat. Such roots are known as tuberous root. Carrot, turnip, potato. Modification of root for additional support. Some plants have roots that provide additional support to them. Observe a banyan, bargad, tree. Do you see rope-like structures hanging down from the bigger branches of the tree? Their roots go into the soil below and support the branches. Maize and sugarcane also have supporting roots. The shoot system. The shoot system consists of the main stem, its branches and the leaves. The main part of the shoot is stem. Banyan tree. The stem. It is usually the part of a plant above the soil. Most plants have their stems above the ground. Such stems are called aerial stems. They are woody or non-woody, herbaceous. Trees and shrubs have woody stems, whereas herbs have non-woody stems. The stems of these plants are rigid as they contain large amounts of wood tissue called xylem. They look brown in color. Their outer protecting covering is called bark. Non-woody stems are weak as they lack xylem. The points from where leaves and branches grow out of the stems are known as nodes. The portion of the stem between two nodes is called internode. The angle formed between the base of a leaf and the stem is termed as leaf axil. Buds, known as axillary buds, are found in the axils. At the top of the plant is an apical bud, where growth takes place. Stem with nodes and internode. Apical bud. Nodes. Internode. Growing point. Young leaf. Axillary bud. Petiole. Functions of the stem. It transports water and dissolved mineral salts from the roots to the leaves. It also transports food from the leaves to storage organs and to the growing part of the plant. The stem bears leaves, flowers and fruits. Leaves are arranged in such a manner that they get possible sunlight. Activity 7.3. Take a cutting of plant with white flower. Dip the lower end of the cut stem in a beaker. Add a few drops of red ink in the water in a beaker. Observe the plant carefully. You will observe that the color of the white flowers changes to red. This activity shows the path of conduction of water along the stem and leaves. The stem conducts water and minerals. Modification of stem for storage. Some plants such as the potato, onion, ginger and garlic have underground stems. These stems store food for other parts of the plant. Hence, they are edible. The bud on these stems give rise to new plants when conditions get better. A cactus plant grows in a desert where water is very scarce. It has sharp spines instead of leaves. They prevent the loss of water by evaporation. The stem is fleshy and can store water for long times. Modifications of stem for food. You see cactus plant in above picture. In addition to the stem becoming fleshy green and leaf-like, its green stem does the function of the leaves. It manufactures food for plants. A cactus plant. Modification of stem for support. In some plant with weak stems such as passion flower, there is a peculiar modification of the stem called the stem tendril. These are long thread-like, coiling branches of stems. Most vines develop thin, soft leafless structure. As the weak stems of the virus cannot hold the weight of the plant, they either creep along the ground or climb along supports, poles or other plants. These tendrils may climb straight along supports or twine around them. Stem tendril in vines. The leaf. A leaf is a flattened green structure. A flat, green portion of the leaf is known as the lamina or leaf blade. It is attached to the stem by a narrow, short stalk called the petiole. The region of attachment of the leaf to the stem is called the leaf base. The veins transport water, minerals and food and also give support to the leaf. Parts of a leaf. Leaf apex. Vein. Midrib. Lamina. Leaf margin. Petiole. A leaf comes out from the stem at a node. On either side of the midrib, thin veins branch out. The structure made by veins in a leaf is called leaf vernation. If the side veins are parallel to each leaf, such a vernation is called parallel vernation. For example, in grasses and banana, if the side veins form a network or crisscross each other, such a vernation is called reticulated vernation. For example, in the leaves of rose plant, mango and peepal plant, etc. Reticulate vernation in a leaf, mango leaf. Parallel vernation, banana leaf. Functions. 1. You see that most of the leaves have green color. The green color in leaves is due to the presence of a green pigment. It is called chlorophyll. Leaves prepare food using chlorophyll, water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. This process of preparing food is called photosynthesis. Let us perform an activity to test that leaf has food/carbohydrates/starch in it. Leaves carry out photosynthesis. Activity 7.4. Take a small beaker containing alcohol and place a leaf in it. Now place the small beaker in a beaker of water and warm the beaker gently until the alcohol begins to boil. The alcohol will dissolve the chlorophyll and the leaf will lose its green color. Take out the leaf and wash it in water to remove the excess alcohol. Pour dilute iodine solution over the decolorized leaf with the help of a dropper. Again take the leaf out and wash it with water. What did you observe? If carbohydrate/starch is present in the food, a blue-black color will be seen. 2. Leaves are the main organs of respiration. They have tiny pores called stomata for the exchange of gases. 3. The plants also control extra amount of water in the plant through stomata. Let us perform an activity to show the process of transpiration. Activity 7.5. Take a potted plant and cover it with a polythene bag as shown in figure. Observe after a few hours. What do you find in the bag? You will notice that water droplets appear in the bag. You have learned that leaf evaporates water into the air. 4. In some cases, leaves may be variably modified into spines or tendrils or modified to trap insects, as in pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. Pitcher plant. Venus flytrap. Modification of leaf. 1. In some plants like cactus, the leaves are modified into hard and pointed structures called spine. These spines protect from grazing animals. They also reduce the loss of water from the plant body. 2. In some plants, leaves are modified into structures which are highly coiled. They help the plant to climb. For example, pea plant, gloriosa, etc. Plants like pitcher plant and sundew plant possess highly modified leaves that trap insects. Such plants are also called insectivorous plant. 3. In some plants, leaves have buds that produce new plants. For example, bryophyllum, pea plant. Gloriosa, leaf of bryophyllum. The flowers. The flower is a delicate, highly specialized part of the shoot system. It may be found single or in clusters. Most flowers have a sweet scent. Some flowers have no smell at all. Activity 7.6. Collect flowers of different plants. Pick only the fallen ones. Observe them. Do they have the same size, shape and color? Structure of a flower. Flowers vary in many ways. All flowers have the same basic parts. A typical flower has a stalk called a petal which joins it to the stem. The uppermost part of the petal is wider and is called the thalamus. Structure of a flower. Sci facts. Why do insects visit flowers? It is because of nectar which is produced at the base of the petals. Insects feed on this nectar. The honey that bees make and store in their hive is concentrated nectar. The main parts of flowers are given below. 1. The sepals. These are the outermost ring, green in color. They protect the flower in the bud stage. 2. The petals. These are the colored whorls inside a flower. 3. The stamen. Each stamen has a bag-like structure called anther and a long tube-like structure called filament. Anther produces pollen grains that take part in reproduction. The stamen is the male part of the flower. 4. The pistil. It consists of 3 parts: the stigma at the top, style in the middle and ovary at the bottom. Inside the ovary there are little ball-like structures called ovules. The carpel is the female part of the flower. Stamen, male part of a flower. Pistil, female part of a flower. Functions of a flower. It is the organ of reproduction in plants and it grows into the fruit and seed. Flowering plants are grown in various places for decoration and fragrance of the flowers. Flowers are used for making perfume or scents. The common flowers are rose, jasmine, kevara, and lavender. Some flowers are the sources of food for many insects. Activity 7.7. To cut sections of an ovary to observe ovules. Pluck 2 healthy flowers from a plant and locate the center of the flower to find the pistil. You will see what lies inside it. You can also take the help of hand lens or microscope. You will find some small bead-like structures inside the ovary. These structures are called ovules. Fruits and seeds. The seeds and fruits are the results of fertilization or sexual reproduction in plants. Technically, a fruit is the ripened ovary and associated bits containing seeds, while a seed is a ripened ovule, containing the embryo and enough stored food to sustain it through the process of germination and the early development of the seedling. A fruit is that part of a plant which contains the seeds. Apples, oranges, plums, lemons, and tomatoes are all fruits. They all have seeds inside them. See fig. A. The pea pod is also a fruit. The peas inside it are seeds. See fig. B. A fruit contains seeds of the plant. A. An apple is a fruit. It has seeds in it. Apple, a fruit. Seeds inside the apple. B. A pea pod is a fruit. It has seeds inside it. Peas, seeds. Pea pod, pollination. Wind, water or insects transfer the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of either the same flower or of another flower of the same kind. This process is called as pollination. After pollination, the ovary swells up and changes into a fruit and the ovules change into seeds. In other words, the pollen grains are carried from the anther of a stamen to the stigma of a pistil by insects, like bees, blowing wind and falling water. Pollination by insects. When the pollen grains fall on stigma, they move down through the tube called style and reach the ovary. In the ovary, the male sex cells present in pollens join with the female sex cells present in ovules. The joining together of male and female sex cells is called fertilization. After fertilization, the ovules grow and become seeds. The ovary of flower grows and becomes a fruit, with seeds inside it. A fruit protects the seeds. The other parts of the flower dry up and fall off. The wheat grains, gram, chana, corn, makka, peas, pulses and beans, which we use as food are all seeds of their respective plants. All these seeds can germinate under suitable conditions to produce new plants. For example, when we sow wheat seeds in the fields, they grow to give new wheat plants, or wheat crop. Keywords. Node. Point on the stem from where a leaf comes out. Internode. Part of the stem between 2 nodes. Sepal. Green leaf-like structure in the outermost wall of a flower. Leaf. The flattened green structure arising from the node of a stem. Petal, the stalk of a leaf. Chlorophyll, green substance in plants that absorbs energy from sunlight. Stamen, male part of a flower. Petal, usually brightly colored structure in the whorl inner to the sepals in a flower. Petiole, a stalk of the leaf. Axil, the angular leaf makes with the stem. Summary. Plants have two main systems, the root system and the shoot system. Plants can be classified on the basis of shape and size, herbs, shrubs and trees. There are two types of root systems, tap roots and fibrous roots. The shoot system consists of the stem, the leaves, flowers and fruits. The stem has many functions such as conduction, support and storage. Green leaves make food for the rest of the living world by photosynthesis. In some plants, leaves are modified into tendrils which give support to the plant. Flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant. The main parts of a flower are sepals, petals, stamen, carpel. Pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma.